Hello, this is Anime Vision, and welcome to another video. It's been a long time since I've been able to record. Long time. Just a lot of junk happened. Mostly with me having to think about school stuff. Getting sick, not with corona, but just something painful. Who didn't hear? Yeah, actually, not gonna say anything about it. Let's see. What else? I've also had to go some places where unable to record. A little nervous because I'm in my front yard and I'm like sandwiched between two houses where I'm really good friends with people and they don't know I have a YouTube channel or talk to people. Last person I texted was over a year ago. Sorry guys, a motorcycle went by. Anyway, let's see. This is going to be part 1 of What If Deku Was a Vigilante. So let's get into that. It's been a while. So I just got done watching, I watched season 2 of Umbrella Academy. And yeah, I really liked 5's ability. Like the teleportation and everything. So, and then I watched a couple of people do vigilante stories. And I thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. So then I kept on looking up a whole bunch of stuff I could probably use. And made kind of a cool story. So, yeah. Well, I think it's cool, but let's get into it. Now, Deku all of his life was told that he was quirkless. And a nobody. He started to believe it. And he started to believe he couldn't be a hero, but he had one last hope. And this was All Might. Now, he was attacked by a villain, and as he was being suffocated by this sludge villain, All Might had saved him. And after Deku woke up and saw him, he wanted to ask All Might a question, but All Might jumped away. Deku grabbed on, like the entire story. But after All Might says he can't be a hero without a quirk, there is a spectator to this, someone who's been following All Might, someone who thinks that he's the one and only hero until this moment. Stain is watching over, and he sees how disappointed the kid is. Stain just thinks that there are people with almost useless quirks as heroes. So, Deku, he pretty much gave in to his depression, and he jumped off the building once All Might had left, not going into his skinny form. Stain has not seen this either. And this is when Stain rescues the boy and asks if he wants to train. The boy asks why him. He's quirkless and a nobody. He could never become a pro hero. This is when Stain says, there was a time when there were true heroes everywhere. This was when there were vigilantes out there. Don't become a pro, become a vigilante. You won't get fame, you won't get money, but you will help people. And you can attack the pros who are supposed to help people, but instead just hurt them. So, Deku thought this was a great idea. And he pretty much spent that entire year training. Stan had told him to meet him on the very next day in Dagobah Beach. I can't say it, shoot. I'm not gonna say it. I've said this a million times, but I can't say it now for some reason. So, Deku. He gets there the next day, and Stain pretty much sees that this kid has never trained a day in his life. But he has seen he has amazing potential in other areas as well. Areas where Stain lacks. He may lack... Stain is smart. No more than... not smarter than an average person. But, not much smarter than an average person. Deku, on the other hand, he's very analytical. He's way smarter than an average person. And he's even made some of his own gadgets. During his training, Deku had found out he does have a quirk. The first time, he was cleaning a pile of trash. And then he fell off the very top, trying to lift something heavy. And when this happened, blue energy just surrounded him, and then he was on the ground. He wondered what was happening. Stain told him that he must have just had a quirk, but it never awakened until later. He must have been just a late bloomer. Now, Deku, he gets extremely happy. That, for multiple reasons, and Stain thinks this is really good. For one, he has a quirk. He's going to be better able to take down pros. 2, he is going to be able... his identity is more safe. Because the more, pretty much, the more people look at, try and find who this vigilante is, they would never believe it's this quirkless kid. Because this vigilante could teleport. As long as Deku's face is never revealed, he could always just pretty much pass by everyone. This is when Stain decided to train him 3 areas. 1, strength training. His strength training was cleaning up the beach, plus pretty much what Deku was, doing in canon, when All Might told him not to. But 5 times that. Intense training. And then hand-to-hand combat and weapon training. Deku, he did not like having to use swords or anything, but he would use knives. He also spent time making gadgets as well. The third training thing he always did each day was quirk training. He found, that he could teleport 12 times, and then within a 300-meter radius. He didn't even have to see where he is. But, you do it 12 times, 300-meter radius, and then a cooldown of 1 minute. After that. Actually, you'd think it was like 2 minutes for 5, but I don't care. It's going to be 1 minute for deku. So, let's see what. Okay, got it. So at the end of the training, Deku, he's pretty much he missed a chance to get an UA. But his fighting skills are a little bit less than Stain's. He's been trained with a bow staff. He's made his own gadgets, which include a protective suit, night vision goggles. His suit has a hood. It has a little communicator so he can talk to Stain. He has trackers. He also has spikes on the bottom of his boots. He has apartments for smoke bombs, knives, and everything. And I remember seeing this in a video game once. They're like grappling gloves. Like there's grappling hooks in the gloves. So Deku also has that. Like not the ones where like you up like the grappling gun things like from Batman, like that, where it like pulls you up real fast. That. Or a better way of saying it, like the gear from Attack on Titan. He pretty much has that. He has little air boots as well, like that shoot air. Yeah, that part was inspired by Attack on Titan. I watched the first season. That was also kind of something that took off my time. But, yeah. Let's see, and he also has thermal, heating, and, heat resistance and cold resistance on his stuff. He has a few other things, but not gonna spoil any of that stuff right now. Well, he has flamethrowers also in his suit. So, yeah, pretty much what he has. Now, this is pretty much like 1 week before the USJ. He begins his vigilante career. He's a black and green suit, and he has a hood and and he has a mask covering his entire face. Hold on, I'll find a picture of, like, if you've read the webtoon Lone, like, he has that mask that Lone has, that, like, the skeleton mask. I'm not gonna show a picture, but it's like that, and he's wearing a hood. I have no idea what his vigilante name's going to be, but okay. So, first few days, he's gotten off completely fine. He stayed in areas where there's not really too much crimes and everything. He wants to start off small. Though he had one run-in with the hero Eraserhead. Eraserhead tried to erase his quirk when Eraserhead attacked him and tried to erase his quirk, but he realized that the fire he was putting off was just from a support item. He's little miniature flamethrowers. So he's wondering what exactly is his quirk. He's abnormally strong. He's not strong. I'm just gonna say this. He's not as strong as Stain, but he's pretty close. And Stain was able to take on 5% full cowling, Deku, Ida, another pro before then, and then Todoroki 2, as well as a Nomu, and being able to escape from the grasp of Endeavor to take down said Nomu. So yeah, he's pretty strong. So whenever so Deku, he kept on trying to activate his quirk every second while trying to battle. Every time it didn't work, but he kept on trying because he knew who Eraserhead was. He then was able to teleport away, escaping. But he decided to put a tracker on to Eraserhead's clothing, just so he knows where to avoid. He could also use Eraserhead to get information. These trackers have little, they have little mics on them, and he can listen into their conversations. He doesn't get any actual video feed, but he gets the sound. So, we're skipping to the USJ. So Deku, he is going to, So Deku, he's going to... During the day, he listens to, as I was, talking. Because usually whenever he's in class, he's wearing his suit and everything. He can actually get a few good pointers. And also, he needs to learn a few things from actual school stuff. And he's also kind of keeping tabs on Bakugo. Because he's kind of wants a revenge a little bit. This is when the USJ event happens, and he hears someone say, "Wow, we even got fake villains?" And he heard and then he heard Eraserhead say, "No, those aren't real villains. 13 protect the kids." And then the feed kind of cut out because all the comms and all the signals blocked. So Deku, he got his costume on, and he began moving there as fast as possible. He brought Stain along with him. Whenever they all got there, they saw this bird creature. Like this bird creature holding down Eraserhead. And 13 on the ground, and all the students kind of looking in fear, including Bakugo. Deku, he just jumps down off of the top. Well, he breaks a window and drops down, and he stabs the Nomu right in the head with one of the knives. The Nomu reels back in pain. And starts going a little crazy. He didn't kill the Nomu, but he did a whole bunch of damage to the brain. Pretty much cutting off the link between, like, that let Shigaraki control it, like, order it around. So then it just kind of went wild. Hurting villains, and everyone. Shigaraki was about to get out when Deku put a tracer onto Kurogiri, hitting him, and doing that at the same time. He then began taking out all the villains, one by one. Everyone looked in shock, wondering who these two are. They knew one of them, and then Baku remembered one of them from the news. That's Stain, the hero killer. Everyone kind of looked in fear. And he told Deku it was time to go once everyone was gone. Like, everyone was taken down. He said sure, but he just had to do one thing first. Before teleporting them outside the building, before heroes arrive. Now, Deku, he hasn't it's been a minute since he's teleported, so he gets to teleport 12 more times. He teleports right next to Bakugo, hits him in the stomach, and then brings his head down and knees him in the head, breaking Bakugo's nose. Everyone is like, what the heck was that for? And they're all just kind of scooting back, not wanting to get hurt. And then Deku said with a voice changer on, saying, he's not here to hurt them, just him. Then he teleports to Stain, and then teleports right outside the building, right when all the heroes get in. Seeing everyone very, very confused. And everyone kind of wondered why that guy with the skull mask hit Bakugo. So during the investigation, Bakugo was kind of the prime suspect. Deku and Stain went to the League of Villains hideout and saw All For One there with Kurogiri and everyone when they broke in. But All For One gave a pretty good offer. One that Deku had a very hard time turning down. I'm gonna leave you all on a cliffhanger. Haha. Goodbye.